You know, as a tech reviewer, it's kind of hard for me to come up with gift ideas for people. I have a lot of what I already want. But that was until Grid Studio came out with these bad boys. What's up, internet? I'm Brian MacDuff, aka BMAC, and welcome to another video. And if you guys like videos about tech reviews, product unboxings, and filmmaking and photography tutorials, make sure you smash that subscribe button with all notifications turned on so that you never miss another video on this channel. So let's just get right into it. Clearly, I have here in front of me some of the coolest gifts I think I've ever received. These are shadow boxes made by an awesome company called Grid Studio. For those of you who follow me on Instagram, you might remember the post I put up on my feed a little while back when I received my first shadow box from Grid Studio, the Grid Studio 1. The Grid 1 is still one of my favorite Grid Studio pieces to date since it houses the original iPhone, the smartphone that forever changed the tech industry as we know it, and I still can't believe I'm actually not only the owner of an original iPhone, but that I get to own it in such a beautifully displayed shadow box here with the Grid 1. But since the Grid 1, Grid Studio has clearly been very hard at work, coming out with even more collage frames, utilizing some of the tech industry's most iconic device releases of the past, shadow boxes anywhere from the legendary Nintendo 64 controller to even the original ever so beautiful MacBook Air. But who exactly is Grid Studio and what exactly do they do? Well, Grid Studio creates these nostalgic shadow boxes that bring back a flood of memories from our tech past by framing our favorite retro electronic devices in a way that showcases their beauty in its entirety, with each device being taken apart and displayed in such an elegant way where each device component, even internal components, are visibly displayed and explained within the Grid collage itself. Grid Studio scouts the market in search of these beloved older devices that are all too quickly being forgotten or disappearing from existence altogether. From older iPhones to retro gaming controllers and handheld gaming consoles of the 1990s, Grid Studio not only acquires these relics of the past from sellers all around the world, but they carefully take each device that they acquire apart, clean each component with special care, and then meticulously display all of them in well thought out designs in a schematic-like fashion, all housed in a polished and varnished natural wood frame, complete with a glass front cover. But the beauty of a Grid Studio collage doesn't stop there. As you can see, each Grid Studio shipment contains delicate packaging that consists of handmade gift wraps and a charming wax stamp, providing one of the most intricate and aesthetically pleasing unboxing experiences I think I've ever had. For those of you who know me, you know that I've always been a tech creator to want to build a retro tech collection, and I am fortunate to have been able to hold on to a couple of my retro devices of the past, but none of them display quite as strikingly as they do in a Grid Studio frame. And I want to give a huge thank you and a shout out to Grid Studio for sending over as a gift 5 of their Grid Studio masterpieces for me to check out and to be able to talk about in this video. And I think it's pretty self-explanatory to see why I am basically drooling over them. Literally, I'm salivating. It's weird. I don't know why. They're just so beautiful. And it's still kind of hard to believe that I'm now the grateful and proud owner of 5 fabled pieces of iconic tech that will forever be displayed in my studio, including the Grid N64 controller, the first Apple Watch I ever owned, the Grid Apple Watch 1st Gen, the controller for the first video game console I ever owned, the Grid DualShock controller, of course the smartphone that changed everything, my beloved Grid 1. And last but certainly not least, the first iPhone I ever owned with the Grid 4. Whether you want to complete the walls in your entertainment room with an original Grid Game Boy console, or if you want a way to showcase the first iPod you ever owned on your family room shelf with something like the Grid iPod Classic, Grid Studio's ever-growing collection of framed collages makes an unforgettable gift, whether that be for someone you love or even just for yourself. And to see all the stunning shadow boxes that Grid Studio has to offer, you guys could of course always head to my affiliate link, bmac.link/gridstudio, or of course there will always be a clickable link in the video description box below as well. And trust me, these are most definitely some pieces of absolute wall candy that you're gonna wanna check out. They're gorgeous. Once again, a massive thank you and a shout out to Grid Studio for sending over these fabulous pieces from their product collection, and I truly can't wait to see what Grid Studio is going to release next. As you could probably make a safe bet that I'm going to be in line for it. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed watching it, and of course, don't forget to leave your own thoughts on these Grid Studio collage frames in the comment section below. I think I'm just going to sit here for like the next 4 hours or so and just stare at these, read them, wipe the tears that come to my eye because of how beautiful they are. I will see you guys in my next video.